The lagging indicators that most people kind of tend to focus on are quota attainment and win rates and sales cycle time. But Rajiv, those are lagging, right?
Yeah, that happens months and months after you've already started something. So you don't know if you're on the right path yet, right? When you think about sales, revenue, go to market, what's the first place you'd start at? Is there a framework that you use? And what have you found to be important for businesses that utilize that kind of framework?
Right. So listen, most companies are at different stages in their life cycle. And so you've got small companies that need to, what sales enablement means for a small company is very different than what it means for a large company. And so, first of all, you got to identify, where are you in terms of just the life cycle of the business? And it's not a one size fits all, Rajiv, right? But to answer your question specifically, it comes down to leading and lagging indicators. And what are the specific metrics and KPIs that a business is trying to solve? And this is what we do. We sit down with companies and we, try and help them. We try and guide them on implementing the right kind of sales enablement, because there is such a thing as bad sales enablement. Because if you're going to enable people and you're enabling them on the wrong thing and you're not solving the right metrics and KPIs, and I'll give you some examples, then you end up wasting time, wasting resources, reps leave, and you wonder, why aren't we hitting our numbers? Why aren't we growing? And so when we look at some of the leading indicators, these are things like, sure, it's time to revenue, it's time to ramp, but I want to be very specific, right? Let me just back up. The lagging indicators that most people kind of tend to focus on are quota attainment and win rates and sales cycle time. But Rajiv, those are lagging, right?
Yeah, that happens months and months after you've already started something. So you don't know if you're on the right path yet, right?
And if you're a B2B software company and you've got, kind of a 6 to 9 month sales cycle, and you've got someone who is, 12 to 18 month ramp time, like you're 2 years later when you find out this person wasn't a fit. So I want to look at leading indicators, and those leading indicators are things like, meetings booked, things like pipeline created, and things like pipeline progression. And so, I think as leaders, sales and marketing leaders, think about how they're going to embrace sales enablement to ultimately achieve kind of great revenue outcomes. It's so critical from a framework perspective that you are getting aligned with your leadership team on what are the most important leading indicators and lagging indicators, and then build programs and invest on the leading indicators, and then the rest will follow.